Welcome everyone. I am your favorite artist, Artist Extraordinary One, and this is the School of Creative Hustle online. So welcome back to the DIY tutorial, Authentic Waistbead Design. You're listening to the voice of Artist Extraordinary One, and now I'm going to get into the history of waist beads. Okay, so, and again, you know, my knowledge of waist beads comes from the years where I was making and selling waist beads and what I learned from my partner in Ghana, West Africa. Her name is Rita, and she is who taught me how to create waist beads in this particular style. So, waist beads are a form of traditional jewelry that go back hundreds of years, maybe thousands of years actually. You can look at pictures of ancient Egyptian women and you'll notice that they're wearing waist beads. So waist beads are a really old form of jewelry. And today in Ghana, little girls and women and even old ladies, women and of all ages and sizes continue to wear waist beads, not just in Ghana, but all throughout several parts of Africa and even in other places outside of the continent. So when a little girl is born, it's not uncommon for her mother and the women in her family to tie waist beads around different parts of her body. And this serves a couple of reasons. One of them is to help her body become shaped with feminine curves. Another reason is to track her growth as she goes through those early developmental stages. The beads serve as a measure of how fast and how big the girl is growing. And once the beads become tight, her mom knows that it's time to change the beads and put a different set on. So waist beads are a way for girls to shape their bodies and to track the growth of young girls. Then when a young woman reaches puberty, her waist beads are a symbol of her sensuality and her virtue. And by this I mean that the waist beads are very private. They're not something that you wear to show off. They're traditionally meant to be worn underneath the clothes and not to be revealed to other people. So it's not like getting your belly button pierced, you know, here in the United States where, you know, the piercing becomes a way to show off your midriff. Waist beads are something that's really private, so you don't show them off. And then also this traditional style, you know, using this really durable cotton that has a couple of threads here, it's really strong. So once you tie the beads on, they're meant to stay on until either you outgrow them and they get really tight, or you cut them off. So these are something that's meant to be permanently worn underneath the clothes, and they're meant to be private. So beads are also, because they're so private, they serve as, you know, an added element of seduction for when a girl does choose to become intimate and share herself. The beads add seductive pleasure. So on your own, you can feel sexy with your waist beads on, and when you share yourself with someone, they'll definitely make you feel and make your partner feel really good. So that's another way that women use waist beads. One of the most common purposes for waist beads is to help you track your weight, help you track weight loss and weight gain. And basically, when you tie your waist beads on, they should be tied really comfortably below your navel, and they should sit on your hips. And once they're tied, they should feel a little loose regardless of how much food you ate or the time of the month. They should still fit comfortably. So if your waist beads become tight, it's an indication that you, my dear, have gained some weight. And on the other hand, if they become loose and they're swinging around you like a hula hoop, it's a sign that you have lost some weight. And so it allows us to track our weight loss and weight gain and really, you know, see the relationship of our diet and our emotional state to our health, and allow us to address weight gain and weight loss in a mindful manner versus stepping onto a scale, which sometimes can be damaging to our sense of self-esteem. And you know, you will see women using waist beads to accent their beauty and highlight their natural shape. And you will see women wear anywhere from 1 string or 2 strings at a time to women who wear 20 or 30 strings. So there is a spectrum in terms of how women will adorn their bodies, but waist beads are primarily a piece of jewelry that's specific for the female form, and they are meant to basically highlight your beauty and for you to celebrate yourself. So at this point, I want to talk about the meaning of colors, because that's something that does come up often, is what do these colors mean? What colors should I wear? And how many colors should I wear? What will they do for me by wearing them? So let's just get into that right now. Cool. And now, friends, we're gonna move into a topic I love to talk about so much, and that is color. All right, folks, so let's talk about color. And before I even begin to present my explanation and give you definitions, which is kind of silly, well, I can see why it's value, but I also want to make this disclaimer, which is colors belong to everyone. I do not believe that certain groups or people can own the rainbow. I do not believe that certain affiliations can claim usage of color to the exclusion of everyone else. Colors belong to us all, okay? Now, as human beings, we love to assign meaning and create symbols. That's just part of our, human being nature, is to give meaning to things that don't inherently have a meaning. But many meanings can be assigned to color. So I'm just going to go through some of the popular attributes assigned to different colors. This is not law. You don't have to believe me, and you can even make up your own definitions. But what I will do is just talk about some of the power that resonates through assigning meaning, especially when we develop our own belief system, and how these colors can reiterate and reflect our beliefs. So let's start with this color here. Who knows what this color is called? Yes, it's red, rojo, rouge, depending on your language. Red is attributed with dominance. It's attributed with danger, like a stop sign. It's attributed with being bold and fiery. So when you use red in your design, you're using a color that's considered to be very striking and very strong. Moving on, we have this color called yellow. And yellow is seen to be a color of optimism. Like, think about a sunny day. Yellow is friendly. Yellow is hope. Yellow can also be seen as nurturing. So use yellow to literally brighten up your palette and brighten up your design. Next we have orange, which can be a sign of youthfulness, of being friendly. Orange is also a sign of ripeness. So you think about like a juicy orange, and the color of the skin is, the color is in the name, orange. So orange is a color that also speaks to freshness and upliftment, if you want to. Next we have this navy blue, okay? So blue is a different kind of color. The vibe we get from blue is one of loyalty. Blue represents intuition. Blue also can represent law and order. So if you would like your design to reflect a level of seriousness, and your beads are meant to help you keep you in line or keep you committed, blue is a great color to use. Next I have green. Green is a great color. Green is the color that can represent life. Vibrance, things that are growing are green. Green is also a known symbol for wealth and prosperity. So green is a color that you can use if you're trying to conjure those vibes of being vibrant, of being fresh, flourishing, and wealthy. This is a color you would want to include into your design if you believe those things. Next, I have purple, and there's lots of shades of purple. Purple is a color that we use to ascribe royalty or passion, so the idea of being regal or queen-like. So purple is a color of royalness, and if you are looking to create that feeling from your design, purple is definitely one of the most popular colors among women. Next, I have gold. Okay, and we know that gold is a symbol of luxury, of opulence. Gold is also a symbol of being enlightened. So include gold to speak to ideas of wealth and riches, as well as intellectual enlightenment. Then here is silver, and silver is a symbol of grace. I think that's a very subtle quality that we would like to, it would be great to cultivate. So grace, also wisdom. As you see people age, their hair becomes silver. So silver can be considered a sign of wisdom, of grace, and of elegance. Next is the color black. And black is such a strong color. So black indicates strength, originality, determination, perhaps being soulful. So black is really a staple color you'll see in a lot of designs, kind of like an anchor, or it roots you. So that's some meanings for the color of black. Then there is brown. And brown really speaks to being earthy, to being natural. Brown is a color that can represent confidence and calm. You know, brown is the color we see so much in nature. So brown and colors in this family speak to a level of being organic. And if your beads are something that you want to wear to connect you to your natural state and your earthly being, and the color of many people's skin, brown is a very beautiful color to include in a design. Next, we have pink. And pink is playful. Pink represents sort of, it can represent girliness, it can represent being a little fresh, a little flippant, carefree. So pink is something that also many women like, many girls like this color, and then some people actually really hate. But again, these meanings are something that people project onto the colors, and you can project your own meaning. But pink is a playful, fun color. And finally here I have the color white. White is also a very popular color. It represents ideas of purity, it represents ideas of life, ideas of death, of reborn, of newness, and just new beginnings. You know, when something is white, it's basically saying anything can be added, anything, any color can be added. So I think of white as, you know, kind of giving you a canvas that will highlight the other colors that you add to it. So these are just some meanings of colors, but again, this is by no means the definitive guide to the meaning of colors. This is just some meanings that I've abstracted from the world around me and having been an artist, and also researching jewelry and the symbols that people have ascribed to them. So that covers colors, and it's time for us to move on.